So the fact that Richie hit 17 greens and shot 72 is fascinating.
But I believe the great is still yet to come. I won't stop fighting, man, until I'm done.
I think the one tournament you played in, and we have lengthy conversations about this kind of stuff, but Richie hit, you hit 17 greens or something like that?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, and he shot like 72, and okay, you hit 17 greens and shot even par. That doesn't exactly work. And for those of you who are watching this who are new students to us, greens and regulation, just so you know, as a term, most people are familiar with the term par. Greens and regulation is actually the most significant scoring stat on all the tours, whether it be NCAA, LPGA, the Champions Tour, PGA Tour. So every hole is designed more or less with with 2 putts in mind. So if it's a par 3 and you hit the green in 1, allowing yourself for 2 putts, that's hitting the green in regulation. And then par 4 hitting the green in 2, a par 5 hitting the green in 3. So that's what hitting a green in regulation is. So the question to you, Richie, because you know the answer to this. The average avid golfer, how many greens in a reg does that guy hit?
Usually about 1.
Yeah, 1 to 2, right?
Yeah.
Crazy. That's it. So the average avid golfer misses the green for regulation 17 times. So the fact that Richie hit 17 greens and shot 72 is fascinating. So the conversation that Richie and I have a lot is Dave Pelz.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
we like Pelz. Pelz is great. I read Short Game Bible. I have it highlighted in 3 different colored inks because there's just so many nuggets you could pick out of that book. But basically, his studies show that nobody on the planet, I believe the number is, nobody on the planet makes more than 20% of their putts outside of 10 feet with any regularity. And you'll see things like where David Duval actually was draining everything. Not David Duval. Spieth. Jordan Spieth. For his first couple of years, he was making everything.
Yeah.
But guess what?
And then he came back.
Yeah, it falls back to the bell
Came
curve.
back to...
The true stat basically is if you can put in what Pelz calls the golden 8, if you can put the ball within 8 feet of the hole, right? That is the key to scoring. The chances of making putts inside 8 feet go way up. So we designed it at Rutgers a special scorecard, and it had greens and regulations, fairways, and all that kind of stuff. Sandies, greenies, the whole 9 yards. But the one stat that I added to it on my own was, are you within a flag stick of the hole? So if you hit the green and reg and take the flag stick and lay it out, I think the flag sticks at our golf course were 7 feet?
I'm not positive.
Yeah, it's 7 or 8 feet, right? So basically, if you're within a flag stick, you're in birdie range. So when we did that, right, Richie was not within flag stick of the 17 holes. I think it was 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Right? Well, okay. So yeah, coach, I hit 17 greens, but in reality, the wedges need to be tighter. So we've done a lot of work on that, and he's getting there.
Yeah.
The man has the ability. It's just a matter, and again, we talked about another episode where Rich's reality is I'm not good enough. He likes to take the underdog mentality.
Yes.
My thought process is Richie is good enough, right? There's just I think it's Les Brown. There's winners, there's losers, and then there's people that have not learned how to win.
Glass of bourbon, ha. My bourbon, ha. My bourbon, ha. Alcohol. There's no great story ever started with, I'll have a salad.